Hey folks, welcome back to Echoes of the City, the show where we dig deep into the soul of the world's great cities, one neighborhood at a time. I'm your host, and today we're heading to the beating heart of Scotland's largest city, Glasgow, to explore a district with more stories in its stonework than most novels on your shelf. Let's rewind the clock, way back to the 18th century. Glasgow wasn't always the gritty, industrial powerhouse it's often remembered as. Before the shipyards, before Billy Connolly, before deep-fried Mars bars, there was money, a lot of it. The merchant city rose from the fortunes of the tobacco lords, wealthy merchants who dominated transatlantic trade. These weren't your average traders. They were flamboyant, ambitious, and often controversial. They wore powdered wigs and strutted through the streets of Glasgow in velvet cloaks, living in Georgian mansions built with money from tobacco, sugar, cotton, and, yes, deeply tied to the slave economy of the Americas. Names like Glassford, Cunningham, and Oswald, you'll see them on streets and buildings to this day. They built this part of town into a mini empire, the original merchant city. Elegant buildings, vaulted warehouses, a rising sense that Glasgow was no longer a scrappy Scottish town, it was becoming a global player. But like many things built on brittle foundations, that glory didn't last forever. By the 19th century, the trade moved west. Quite literally, the elite moved to the new grand boulevards of the West End. Meanwhile, Merchant City, once the crown jewel, began to decline. The mansions became warehouses. Warehouses became tenements. And by the mid-20th century, this part of the city had fallen into serious disrepair. It was gritty, it was industrial, some parts were downright derelict. There were even plans to bulldoze parts of it to make way for a motorway. Imagine that, the soul of the city, paved over. Thankfully, that never fully happened. The 1980s rolled around and something began to stir. City planners, artists, and a few risk-taking developers started looking at the bones of this area, the archways, the cobbles, the classical facades, and saw potential. And so began one of the biggest urban regeneration stories in Scotland. Old warehouses were turned into loft apartments, crumbling halls became concert venues. Candle rigs, once a fruit and veg market, got a whole new lease on life. And slowly but surely, Merchant City was reborn. Walk through Merchant City today and you'll feel it, the energy, the layers. You've got world-class restaurants tucked into old stables, rooftop cocktail bars perched above Victorian townhouses, independent boutiques, art galleries, and the hum of creativity everywhere. There's live jazz spilling out of basement bars, pop-up art shows in courtyards, students, tourists, entrepreneurs, all mingling on cobbled streets that once saw silk-lined carriages and crates of tobacco unloaded from the Clyde. And the festivals? Don't get me started. The Merchant City Festival every summer brings music, dance, food, and street theater into every nook and cranny. But it's not just gloss. There's also real conversation happening here about gentrification, about preserving history, about who gets to shape a city's future. Merchant City isn't perfect, but it's alive, and that's what makes it special. So the next time you're in Glasgow, don't just hit Saatchi Hall Street or Buchanan Galleries, take a detour. Wander the Merchant City, feel the past beneath your feet and the present all around you. Because this isn't just a place on a map, it's a living story, and it's still being written. I've been your host. Thanks for listening to Echoes of the City. Until next time, keep exploring.